Robert Pires or some shit like that. I don't
if
know.
you want to compare yourself to Pires aesthetically, mate, your confidence is much higher than mine.
I'm sorry. I'm just going to come closer.
Oh, there it is. I can see it now.
But that would mean that I'm French, and I don't fucking want that.
No,
so
nobody wants to be French.
I just keep my beautiful Italian face. Rory, let's move to Germany. Our Bayern.
Achtung, schnell. Bayern. They won 4-1 this weekend.
Yep, they are going to win it.
Yeah, they're definitely winning it. They reversed the score. So last September, September last year. Is that the same thing? Hoffenheim beat Bayern 4-1, and this time Bayern won 4-1. And this now
nice little vengeance.
8 points clear. RB Leipzig and Leverkusen played each other. RB Leipzig winning, which means that Leipzig have dropped down now, kind of really out of the race, if there is one. Bayern just being Bayern, and 4 goal scorers where every single one you look at them and go, of course they scored. It was like Lewandowski, Gnabry, Kimmich, Muller, and you're like, oh, okay.
Wait. Did you say Gnabry, the former Arsenal player you sold for €5 and the pack of cigarettes? That's it?
Yeah, the world-class one. He's one of many world-class players that we gave away for free. Do you remember Benacer? Benacer at Milan? Yeah.
Was Gnabry actually €5 and the pack of cigarettes? I don't remember the brand, but I think that was the deal.
You don't need the money. As we sell Mustafi for 2 million today, apparently. By the way, knock that business acumen. Right.
In case you don't follow us on Instagram, or it's the first time you listen to us, there is a great quote by Rory on our latest episode that was released last Friday that said, "I've got bad news to report in the Bundesliga. There's no more fun to be had here. Bayern Munich are now 7 points clear, and they're stamping their authority back on the Bundesliga." I agree with you. It seems like the fun is over, boys. Turn over to Serie A, Liga, or the Premier League. Also because in Spain, Atlético Madrid, they win again. And we are all...
It keeps going. And the best thing is Real Madrid fucked up.
Oh, my God. Dude, that was bad. We did watch highlights together about that.
We did. I've got vague memories of us watching the highlights together.
It was a very boozy Sunday, we can say.
Honestly, one of my students this morning turned around and was like, "Sir, you look really tired." Cheers for pointing it out. Yeah.
Look, I mean, to our students, we love you, but with this lockdown, we don't get to hang out that much. And when we do, beers are being had. So deal with it, kids.
Yeah, that's fine. They don't really. There's not that much difference in terms of motivation, so it's fine.
Atletico, where does this put Atletico? Like up there with games in hand.
So they are now 10 points clear with a game in hand.
Ooh, baby.
Which is you want to say, and again, Atletico fans aren't going to thank me for this, but that is unassailable. That seems like such a big lead, and especially with Real Madrid dropping points to Levante at home. You're like. It's got to be their year.
What was that adjective that you just used? Unassailable?
Unassailable. Unable to catch.
Nice. Hey!
Not just a pretty face, Thomas.
Not just a Thomas, but more of a Tommaso, right? So, guys, in case you don't know, we are big-time colchoneros. I guess, Rory, you lived in Madrid, so you're actually an Atletico fan.
Well, like I said, when I was there, I used to go to the Calderon fairly regularly.
I've got a liking for them, but nothing more. I've got a liking for them, not like I support them, but it's always a pleasure to see them win, and always sad to see them lose a Champions League final to Real Madrid. I guess.
So many times as well. But anyway, if we go into the positives, Suarez got 2, Saul scored, and Koke, he is still going. That guy is like an icon of Atletico at this point. They won 4-2 against Cadiz, as Alvaro Negredo got 2 for Cadiz. Now, people who watch the Premier League might remember this guy. He was up front for Middlesbrough, and he was... I remember he had 1 month where he got like 5 goals. And everyone was like, oh my God, this guy's amazing. Then he couldn't hit a barn door again. So he was always seemed like a bit of a dodgy player, but he's absolutely killing it in Cadiz. But Atletico win 4-2 and Real Madrid, right? We need to talk about this Real Madrid game, Tommy, because when we were watching the highlights, I was like, oh man, this is like a lot of highlights. And I realized it was only 20 minutes in. Yeah. And it was all VAR decisions that, to my eyes, were trying to give Real Madrid decisions, but they just couldn't.
Yeah, it was a weird one. It felt like Well, there was a red card for Real Madrid that at first wasn't called. I think that the referee actually gave a yellow to the guy for diving.
Yeah.
And then apparently, I'm picturing just like on the earpiece, VAR being like, no, dude, you got to check this. Dude, come back, come check this. And then he checked, rightfully a red card for Militao, penalty for Cadiz. And the rest of the game, it just felt like Real Madrid, I mean, Sergio Ramos was not playing because they did film him in the stands. But it did feel like Real Madrid's defense was pretty weak and far away from the Real Madrid that we've been used to seeing day in and day out.
This is what happens when your transfer policy makes zero sense for the
last 5 years. Once we move to Serie A, we are going to talk about yet another Real Madrid player. They haven't sold him yet. He's on loan, Borja Mayoral for Roma.
Roma.
But, I mean, think about it 1 second. You've got Hakimi, Theo Hernandez. We've thoroughly discussed that already in our pod. Hakimi and Theo Hernandez, right now they're gone. Then you've got Borja Mayoral that you give away on loan to Roma. And then you've got Jovic that you give back on loan to Frankfurt.
I'm going to also claim Ødegaard as well, man.
Ødegaard, yeah. I don't really know. Like, I feel like last summer, I read an article by Zach Lowy. He's a very good soccer Twitter authority, we could call him. Yeah. Twitter authority. He knows a lot about transfer market. Do give him a follow. He's from the United States. Very nice guy. We actually got a chance to Skype last year once. But last year, he published an article, and he's very knowledgeable. And the article was called Why Real Madrid Can Afford to Not Go on the Transfer Market This Summer, because they pretty much already had a squad. I don't really understand. Why would you ever give away Hakimi and Theo Hernandez to keep Carvajal? And who's on the other side even?
Is it still Marcelo? I feel like Marcelo. No, Mendy, isn't it?
Yeah, Mendy, yeah.
Well, to be fair, Mendy is one of the few players I think from this season that people are still rating. But
I mean, I feel like there was a lot of confusion about what needed to be done at Real Madrid. Yeah. There was not like they didn't pick a way to follow, really. They just kind of like winged it.
At least with like the Galacticos, it was just buying big names, but there was there was a direction though, right? There was a direction of just let's just have the best players. Whereas now they're like not really aiming towards anything. I find like obviously, okay, guys, if this is the first time, I tend to turn everything back to Arsenal. So we're going to go back to Arsenal for a minute. But
go back to Arsenal.
This Ødegaard transfer, I find it really, really fascinating because I think it wouldn't surprise me if Arsenal made a bid for him and got him in the summer. Because he's so sick of being at Real Madrid. He's been there. He signed when he was 15, right? And he's like 19 now. He's been there 4 years. He's not got a chance. He's come back, gone on loan, come back, gone on loan. They recalled him from Sociedad, still didn't give him a chance. And this is a guy who they were like, when they signed him at 15, they were like, this is the guy who's going to, we're going to build this team around, we're going to build our team around this guy in 5 years, 10 years time. And it seems like they're just willing to let him go. It's really, really strange what's going on there. And that's why they find themselves where they are. But knowing Real, they'll probably still go and lift the Champions League somehow.
By the way, I want to say one thing. In case you're a new viewer or a new listener, on Fridays, we usually have a Euroreview and then a weekly topic. And the weekly topic changes every single week. And I was thinking, Rory, that cheers, by the way. I was thinking that we should, you know what? We should have a special episode about Scandinavian players because there is a big generation of Scandinavian players coming up. Denmark, Norway, Sweden. It really feels like the late 90s, early 2000s generation is really gonna perform for them. And Ødegaard is one of them. I remember when he came through, and it seemed like he was the next big thing.
15
and if I'm not mistaken, he's been performing every time he's been loaned to other teams, right?
It's not one of those like Freddie Adu where you hear him and then he disappears after 5 years. This guy for Sociedad, they did not want him to go back to Real Madrid. Real Madrid called him back because he was doing so well. Then they just don't give him a starting spot or don't even give him a chance off the bench. It's insane. So I don't know what's going on there. And now it looks like he's sick of it. When he first signed for Real Madrid, the other club that were in for him was Arsenal, and he was apparently choosing between Real Madrid and Arsenal. So we might get him in the summer. If we do, it just sums up more of lack of direction at the Bernabeu. And it's a confusing time to be there.
Rory, before we delve into the Premier League, I feel like we've got a little nice driveway there. Odegaard, Arsenal. How are we doing on the viewers? How are we doing on the interactions?
Let's have a look. We are talking to... we're currently talking about how Arsenal once bid £1 over Luis Suarez's release clause when he was at Liverpool, which I still insist, if it's over the release clause, you have to accept the bid. I don't get why they didn't accept the bid. £1 over is still the release clause. Mate, the release clause is a release clause. Why didn't they accept the bid? I don't understand it.
That's stingier than me having a radio show on the Italian radio about music and not paying Spotify for it.
It is... That is typical of Arsenal's transfer business at the time, and the negotiator's name was Dick Law. Such a great name.
Dick Law.
Yeah, Dick Law. And we have a listener from Spain, Almune Cargirl. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Oh, that's the first time I've ever heard Rory speak Spanish.
Mate, my Spanish is not bad, you know.
Hermano, es verdad. Viviste en Madrid, ¿verdad?
Sí. Vero. Mate, don't put me on the spot. Now I'm going red. You can see I'm going red already. But
right, yeah, guys, new viewers, all you got to do is like, hey, there are these two super good looking guys talking on Twitch, like, and spam the shit to all of your friends, right?
Yeah, exactly. Especially the super good looking bit. You'll definitely, just hammer that.
Dude, look at me. I'm flawless with this JVC.
Robert Perez over here. And anyway, right.
Wait, what player are you? If I'm Robert Perez.
I'm not playing this game, Tommy. Can we move on to the Premier League? Can we move on to Serie A?
All right, let's move to the Premier League. I want to start with Arsenal. Otherwise, it's going to take too long to talk about them.
Yeah, okay. Arsenal United. I cannot judge if this game is boring or not because I was so nervous about this game that I was entranced. But word on the grapevine is that it wasn't a great game. The first half, United were really good. Well, not really good. United were good. Second half, Arsenal were good.
Watch out, Bryce is watching. He's going to.
Yeah, I think United were the better team first half. Arsenal came into it, and weirdly, we took Martinelli off at half time for Willian. And I was kind of pulling my hair out and losing my shit because it's like one of my favourite players coming on for one of the players I've never hated a player this much.
One of the biggest enemies to world peace, correct?
Exactly. He's a threat, except in front of goal.
I did see a meme that listed Willian as the number one threat to world peace before many other people.
To be fair to Arteta, tactically it worked and we were much better the second half. We were much better, and Willian wasn't as bad as he has been. He was still terrible, but he wasn't as bad as he has been. He should have scored. He had 2 key passes compared to Fernandez's 1 over 90 minutes, so make of that what you will. But it was a game just, I don't know, with Ollie and Manchester United, apart from the Tottenham 6-1 game and the City game recently, I think every game has been a 0-0 against the top 6. The traditional top 6, right? So Ollie obviously is not quite sure how to survive these games. He knows how to not concede, but he doesn't know how to do that and win the game, right? Yeah. Rashford definitely had chances to score. There was a one-on-one with Leno where he took his time and kind of got it stuck under his feet. Cavani could have won it at the end, but I think overall, and I don't think I'm being biased, I think Arsenal created the better chances, and in the second half, I think we should have won the game. The Lacazette free kick deserved to win the game. But considering we had Saka, Aubameyang, Tierney, and Gabriel all missing, I would have taken a draw beforehand, if you know what I mean. I could definitely, before the game, I could see them turning up and doing us 4-1 or 4-2 or something, if you know what I mean. Because on the counter, they're so dangerous. Luke Shaw looked unbelievable. I don't know where he's come from, but he's got so much better recently. But McTominay had to come off injured, but he's a player I think is really underrated as well. There are some good players in that side. Wan-Bissaka, he gets caught sleeping, but again, very defensively, very stable.
I feel like when it
improving going forward. But,
when it gets physical with Wan-Bissaka, you're going to lose that fight 9 times out of 10.
Pace one-on-one, you're never going to beat him. It's insane. So they did play well. I think a draw was probably fair, but I think
you would have snatched the win at the end. You would have loved it. But also, you said a lot of things there. I don't know if you mentioned that. Great save by Bernd Leno.
Oh, no, I didn't. Thank you, Tommy. I didn't.
You know, in case it's the first time you're listening, I've got a little soft spot for goalkeeping.